Most nursing students get these two concepts mixed up. Are you one of them? Because if you are, you're really going to struggle with fluids and electrolytes, which means you're going to struggle learning a lot of other nursing concepts that depend on your understanding of fluids and electrolytes too. The two concepts are osmosis and diffusion. I already talked about osmosis in a previous video, so I'm going to focus on diffusion right now. Diffusion is the movement of stuff. Now, if you look it up in your textbook, that's not what it's going to say. I like to teach things like you're a fourth grader, not because you're dumb, because it's easier to understand that way. So what is stuff? Stuff is basically any kind of particle or molecule. It doesn't have to be able to dissolve in water, but a lot of times when we're talking about inside the human body, it does, because the body's pretty wet. Stuff that you need to know in the body are going to be a lot of your electrolytes. So things like sodium is going to be a biggest player, but also potassium and so on. Here's an analogy to explain diffusion. If 100 people went to a party in a huge, gigantic ballroom, and every single one of them hung out in the corner, that would be weird. What do you expect them to do instead? You would expect them to go around and mingle and generally spread out and take up the entire ballroom, more or less. You would expect them to diffuse. So diffusion is the movement of stuff spreading out so that they're as equidistant from each other as possible. And once you understand that concept, you can understand a lot of things about the movement of fluid in the kidneys and the digestive system and the cardiac system and things like that. You can start understanding symptoms and nursing care instead of simply trying to memorize them. All of this is going to improve your critical thinking skills so much. But it starts with diffusion. And this is an example of something you would study in step 1 of my Silver Bullet study system. I've got a free 10-minute overview of my Silver Bullet study system that you can get in my profile link. I teach all 4 steps. And make sure you give me a follow because I'm going to be talking more stuff about fluids and electrolytes in my next couple of videos.